Y'all, okay, hello, idea. If this always seems like it's random and just like comes to me off the top of my head and I'm just like, oh, now I'm here, I had no plan, is because that is exactly how this happens. It's exactly how this happens. So I was thinking I did a January 2021 collective read and for each zodiac, but it was just January. Then I started thinking to myself, self, you know, it would make a very long video, perhaps too long and too cumbersome, but would be quite interesting for me as a viewer, would be to do like a 3 card spread for every single month of 2021. Just a quick 3 card spread, you know, kind of like a glimpse into what could be type reading. So I thought today we shall do this. Because here it is, fixing to flip over into the new year. Flip over into the new year. So I'm like, we're going to do this shit. So let me go ahead and get myself situated in my chair. This is just for show, purely for show. B gave me these pants. She gave me half my wardrobe because I am a poor child. Okay. I had somebody ask if they could still see me instead of just the cards, which I don't know why. I feel like that's a weird request in terms of like like my facial expressions and shit. I'm like, it's just because they're that crazy, I guess. No matter, no matter. I have my bag of crystals. I keep like whenever I have my cards before I start a reading, I have the crystals that sit on the cards. This is my new deck. We're gonna do love readings in a upcoming soon video. This could be the one. You've already met the romantic partner you seek. Scandalous! Scandalous! Shit like that makes me laugh so hard. Alright, anyway, we're gonna have fun with that shit next. This is what we're gonna do. Let me take my bag of rocks. Here, Vagine, enjoy a bag of. Ooh, I felt the energy. No, I didn't. Y'all don't. And don't get nasty with it. Oh my god, I need to stop. If I get any trolls on my video, it'll be because I deserved it. Okay, so I want to know what I'm going to do is literally put out 12 cards of these. And then I'm going to put out two of these as clarifiers on top of these. So I want to 1 card for each month. 6, 6. That's what I want. And if this video doesn't run in crazy long amount, then like universal guidance. But we'll just start. All right, so I would like to see, please, 12 cards, 1 for each month, 1 for each month. So I'm going to shuffle moderate amount, and then we're going to put out 12 cards, and then we're going to clarify. All right, I'll take that as let's start. Let's start. Okay, put it in there. All right, there we go. Okay, let me resituate again. I know. This is so bootleg. This is so bootleg, y'all. I don't know why y'all tolerate it. Okay, fuck it. Let's go. All right. 1, 2, 3, 4. And I'll show you these too, so you're not gonna be in the dark for any of these. And I'm sure I'm gonna be counting a lot to see what month am I in, what month. You know, that kind of aggravating stuff. Those of you who can already see the bottom row are like, oh my god. Yeah, possibly, potentially. Okay. I got my work stuff over there. I'm about to send it to the floor. It's fixing to get raptured. Whoops. All right, let's see here. 2 clarifiers on each one. So for January over here, I have, let me move my rat mess head. I have the Queen of Pentacles. So I'd like 2 clarifiers, please, for that. Okay, well, that one I saw. Queen of Cups. 1 more clarifier for that. I could have had this all pre-done before, all the shuffling and stuff before I go live, but I've noticed just watching other tarot videos on YouTube that when tarot people already have the cards laid out, you have some troll inevitably in the comments section that's like, you just pre-picked those, and so all of this is a sham. It's saying what you want it to say. And I'm like, dude, is tarot that deep to you that you think that people are like trying to come up with some kind of conspiratorial spreads? Like, already it's what you interpret the cards the way each subjective tarot reader interprets it. But if you want to make a scandal out of everything, you go hard. I bet you're also concerned over what dog is shitting at the end of your driveway and who to report to the HOA, Karen. Sit down. That's what I say. Sit down, Karen. Right? All the Karens out there, like real life people named Karens, they're probably like, God damn it, the original Karen that hijacked my good name. you know? I think it's funny because my name's not Karen, you know? And I have a very weird name, so it would be a wild time indeed if society went and used Alma as anything. Oh, the fucking Almas of the world. Like, what are those? Those are like probably ghosts in the graveyard. I mean, who's named Alma anymore except for like Latin folks, our lovely Latinas that make the name a lot more beautiful. Okay. Alright, so we are almost done clarifying. We're doing great. We're doing great. I'm hang in there. Okay. WHOAZAA. Okay. And this one wanted to come out as well. So let's see. And this one as well. Okay. 3 more months and we will have ourselves sufficiently clarified. There we go. Oh, this is going to be a very long reading, but I hesitate to say that it's going to be interesting. I don't want to say that everybody's like, click out, because it's already 7 minutes in and she doesn't even have all the cards out. Oh my God. Y'all are just here for the chat, aren't you? Surely. One last card. There we go. Right. Let's do this. Okay. Starting over here in January. Okay. So the 3 cards we have the Queen of Pentacles, the Queen of Cups, and the World card upright. Now, what I think is interesting, already interesting, any of you who watched the Celtic Cross for the collective January 2021 read will notice that we got the World card, but we got it in reverse in our conscious minds. Our conscious awareness was the reverse of this, and here it's coming up in the upright, but it's it's clarifying this. But anytime I see repeat cards, I think it's something of note, and it's something that I'm going to take whenever I'm looking at this. So the energy of January coming through is the Queen of Pentacles. To me, this is the energy of people feeling like, okay, I'm showing up in a way where it's like, I'm tired of 2020. I'm tired of those energies. I'm tired of how it like shook me up and ran me around, and I'm here to show up now and just do the damn thing. I'm ready for 2021. No! Already! This is what 2021 is gonna be like? I'll remember that shit. Okay. Everything is a sign, right? Right. I forgot to butter my toast. That means I will be robbed today. Anyway. That's not a thing. Okay. But I think of it as people having that urge to kind of whip 2021's ass because they're so over 2020 that they're just here and they're like, listen, I'm showing up as somebody who I'm of value. I know how to do things. I know how to get things done. This is very like Virgo energy. Every time I get this card, I think of Virgos. They're like, listen, I've got it figured out. I know what I'm doing. I know how to do it. I'm here and I'm ready for it. And so January's got that new, right out of the gate kind of energy where people actually feel maybe I can be empowered, maybe I can be reinvigorated, maybe I can do this. But the but is because we also have the Queen of Cups here. Now she's in the upright, So we have two nurturing energies here. She's the emotional nurturer. She's like mama nurturing energy, as in like, oh, I cut all your toast into the shape of dinosaurs. Like your PB&J is the dinosaur PB&J. You know, like she's just like so. She's like the mom that we all wish we could be, and we like low key hate them because we know we're not. Like, or at least that's me. Like, there's gonna be Cancerians watching this that's like, bitch, I am. You know, and I'll be like, well, hooray for you, as I tell my child, you know, fetch! Throw goldfish on the floor and just let them run and chase it because it gives me 5 minutes to like sip my Thai tea. Yeah, I'm for real. I'm so for real. This is bad. Okay. So her, she's like the nurturing queen, right? So it's kind of, you know, like this dual thing where people are they're trying to hold down the fort. You know, I'm going to provide and I'm going to nurture and I'm going to complete this thing. You know, we're hoping there's some hopeful energy here that we're going to just clear out 2020 and end cap it and close it and start fresh. So that's what I see people feeling like they can do in January. Hopefully people actually get that done. That's why I like to go into the longer ones like the Celtic Cross reading on it, because we can see that that is kind of the advice that you do need to try and get your shit together and get your emotions locked tight so that you can close out these more karmic energies of 2020. It's a good advice. So if that's not where your mind is, maybe you know, get it right, get it tight. Don't not the song. It's not the direction we need to be going in right now. Okay. So, February, we have the Four of Pentacles reverse, Ten of Cups, and guess what? Four of Pentacles upright. Right, Tarot. Right. I'm just going to put all these cards back into their respective decks, chuck them in the wood pile out back and set them on fire because you're trying to make a mockery of me, aren't you? You're trying to make a mockery. But the way that I read this, having the same card but upright and in reverse, I'm actually seeing a bit of let's say a polarization in February. Polarized, okay? Here we have the goal. Happiness, utopia, and there this is the predominant energy. These are just the clarifiers, okay? So to me, this is the card that's like, this comes first, okay? This is later. So what I'm seeing here is a bit of a duality where we're having this goal of everything's fine, happy family, everything's going to be just fine. But you have two types of people. Two types of people. You have the feeling of like, I'm going out on a limb here and I'm going to be independent, so to speak. I'm going to create security. I'm going to generate security, and in a lot of different ways. It can be physically, like financially, but it doesn't have to just be finances. But you have this person over here that's clinging, the miser that's clinging, and they're like, I feel very insecure. I feel very attached to my things and to the way that it should be. And so there's kind of this separation of two types of people here to me, where it feels like the people who are willing to kind of go out on a leap of faith and start creating something new, and the people who are stuck behind and left behind, clinging to the attachments and vestiges of old. And the way that I see this, with this being the predominant energy here, I consider this kind of the guidance. Again, here's the predominant energy. She's like the guidance. If you want to be her, if you're actually saying, I'm going to hold down the fort and I'm going to do and I'm going to be, you'd be well to be in this energy reverse, where it's like leap of faith. I'm going to, you know, I have this entrepreneurial spirit where I'm going to make sure that I am resilient and that I can take care of my own and I can take care of my things, because that is what's going to guarantee me this. If I take personal responsibility for myself. When I see this card, I see somebody who's overly attached or overly dependent on the way things used to be or the setup. Am I already going tinfoil hat? Yes. 15 minutes in, where did I hide it for the last 14? How? But that's what I see. I see somebody who's overly dependent. This is keeping up with the Joneses. Oh, it's all about appearances and positioning. And this is the person that's like, oh, as long as I get my check from the government, I don't care. I'm not making fun of anybody who is a recipient of benefits, because if you are, you deserve to be. That's so not what I'm saying here. But what I'm saying is, do you want to find yourself across the board in a position where you can't bite the hand that feeds? Anytime you are dependent, overly dependent on something, overly attached to something that is old, that is crumbling, that is falling away, you put yourself in a vulnerable position with that. So I just see this kind of polarization of kind of not the haves and have-nots, but the will and the will-nots. The will do and the will-nots is kind of what I'm seeing here in terms of a February. Okay, let's do this. March. When I picked up the pile, I'm like, Gemini, it's like, no, that's not what we're on right now. Okay. Fuck, right? Okay, March. So the first card out is, we've got 6 of Wands in the reverse, Fool in reverse, and the 7 of Wands. Did I say swords here? 6 of Swords in reverse, or did I say Wands? Fuck me. 6 of Swords in reverse, Fool in reverse, and 7 of Wands upright. So when I'm seeing these cards, and this is the original one, this is kind of our guidance card, this is saying for March, we're still not feeling ready to move forward. And I know everybody, here in January, they're like, F 2020, 2021 is new. This is the new deal. Well, here in March, we're still not in the new deal. It's still not new yet. It is not. This is still stuck in the old. This is still feeling like I can't move on yet. My anchor is like down in the river. So it's like you see the water going over the waterfall, but it's like I can't go over the waterfall, which is a good thing in this example. I can't go over the waterfall because I'm anchored back up river, upstream somewhere, and I'm like stuck. So I'm just stuck with current rushing past me. It's like everything's progressing and I'm stuck. So this feels like I can't move on yet. I'm still here. And being clarified by the Fool in reverse, this I can't move on yet is basically because of fear. I'm afraid. I'm afraid that if I walk off that cliff, if I go over that waterfall, that I will fail. I will die. I will bring about ruin and shame and embarrassment. And like this is someone who's thinking that the absolute worst case scenario will happen if they move on. If I actually move forward, the worst thing's going to happen, and I don't feel capable. I don't feel like I can do this. So there's a lot of hesitancy and apprehension here. And clarified by this, it feels like people have to stand their ground a lot in March. So you could actually be told that you have to move on into something that you don't want to move into. So you're intentionally pumping the brakes because you're like, that's not my path. I don't want to go that way. And I'm having to stand up for myself to say, you're not going to force me to do anything that I don't want to do in March. You cannot make me do something that I don't want to do. I have boundaries. And I will get angry if you test them. This is who I am. I have a solid sense of self. This is what I want, and this is it. These are my parameters, and you're not gonna force me into some bullshit. You're not going to. So it could very much so be that, but it could easily be this unconfident action where it just feels like I feel like I can't go forward and say, for example, start my own entrepreneurial business because, oh, I don't have enough finances, or I'm not smart enough, or I'm not capable enough, or, I have to defend myself to everybody because everyone's like, oh, that idea is crazy. That idea is stupid, or you can't, or you this, or you that. And people, you've heard the phrase, you're never a hero in your hometown, because people are like, I knew you when you was a baby and you wasn't shit. And it's like, well, bitch, maybe I am now though. Like, and you're constantly just having to defend yourself and your point of view. Like, that's kind of what it feels like. There is an insecurity and a stuckness and a defensiveness that's cropping up with March. April, my birth month. This is my birth month. Remember this. Why don't you remember this? Put this in memory. Everyone, folks, remember it. The time of my birth is April. Right. Okay, so this starts out with the King of Swords, clarified by the King of Swords, and the Devil in reverse. Now, this can be a good thing. It can also be a little bit of a scary thing. I'm not going to make it scary because both of these are in the upright and this is in the reverse. So overall, if you're talking about energetically, this is a positive spread. It's positive to see him upright and it's positive to see him in the reverse. So good. But we have him twice, which means hella huge energy of this. Hella huge. So here we are in April. April, it seems like air energy is just bursting through. Now, what is air energy? Air energy is very, obviously, think of the air. It's very flexible. It goes and blows this way and that way. It changes. It's mutable. It can be a little bit scary for people who are control freaks. But it's also the energy of innovation even. And so when I see the King of Swords coming out twice in a very literal sense, it can mean authority. So authority like government or military or cops, law enforcement, or doctors and attorneys. These could be doctors. These could be attorneys duking it out. But whatever. But this is also, we're coming into the age of Aquarius, right? Aquarius is air sign, and these are airs. So either we're going to see in April stuff that's, got predominant energies with the medical field or the legal field or military type happenings, things like that, which they're in the upright now. They're not reversed. So it's not like the corrupt or warped version of that. So don't worry. Don't get too scared. But whatever this energy, this air energy, which I feel of as being like flexible and innovative and genius and the new, and it's like sparking this new way, it's breaking the chains of the old way. This Devil in reverse is like conquering your demons, so to speak. So if you had any types of addictions, this is a good omen that April is a time where, a lot of that is like we're unleashing ourselves, we're unclenching ourselves to that. If you're in bad relationships where you are with people who probably might be a little bit narcissistic or cruel, or, they're not seeing you in your highest value, or they're not supporting you on your path and your mission, this is shedding that. This is a redefinition of yourself into something that has more authority and more changeability. Like instead of being stuck, this is air energy. This is a very freeing, liberating, innovative type energy, and this is very freeing, coming unchained, like literally unchaining these folks. You see the chains there, unchaining yourself. So I think April's might be a little bit it might be a little bit intense because two kings. I mean, there's so many ways that your mind could like hypothesize two kings and a devil, like just from a literal sense. You're like, what? But I'm not going into stuff that's like too deep like that, because I'm not saying I'm a fortune teller. I never said that. All right, so May, we have the Hermit. Now the Hermit is being clarified. I'm like, what's the word I use? What do I even say with my own tarot? Clarified by Death in reverse and the Page of Wands. So, the Hermit card, though, after this like blowout expansive type month, because I think of this as expansion, like poof, like this is like we're stuck here, and then it's like, we don't want to go, we don't want to go, poof, now we're gone. Like we broke the chains. So it's like the pressure in March gives birth to kind of a blowout in April. And after such of a blowout, it's like, okay, now that so many things just happened and like Pandora's box was open in April, now there's a lot to process in May. There's a lot to think about. We're like, okay, whew, that was a whirlwind. Wind. Okay. Anyway, that was a whirlwind of energy. So let me kind of like draw it back in and incubate, and let's think about this, okay? Let me go ahead and process everything that happened. And in processing, now here we go. Here's another kind of torn energy, right? So you're in your head, right? You're in the hermit mode. We're processing, and we're toggling between the death card in reversed and the page of cups, a page of wands. Jesus Christ, for anybody that's trying to close your eyes and listen to this, like you're like, I don't even know what card she has. Yeah, I'm so sorry. But this again, just like March, I don't think I can move on though. I don't think I can move on. There's this hesitancy to move on and move into the new. And this is immature, right? This is immature, being that it's a page. It's not a king, it's a page. Immature doesn't mean bad. Immature just means youthful, young, fledgling. Think of the baby bird. It's not quite ready to fly out of the nest, but it's getting there. It's getting there. And that's this guy right here. It's like, hey, I got this really cool idea. It's innovative, it's new, it's passionate, it's really fucking cool, but I don't have a lot of momentum behind it yet because I still don't really know exactly what I'm doing. It's kind of half-baked, right? And this is like, well, because whatever it is here that I'm contemplating, it's like, I don't know if I feel ready to go into it because it is so fledgling. It's so new that I don't have all the answers yet, and I feel scared. I feel intimidated about it. But here it is, May, and it's like, listen, we're in between these two things. You have been told that you have to let go for months now. For months now. If you are not ready to unclench yourself from the old, you are going to find this thing steamrolling you into the future. Steamrolling you. So it's like, I'm scared to quit my job and start a new job. So I'm just going to, like hide and be an ostrich in the sand and keep doing my old job that I hate instead of going out on a limb. And then you realize something hits and like your old job doesn't exist anymore. Uh-oh. Now what? Well, that was the universe's gift of saying, I told you to get out. Told you to create a backup contingency plan. And you didn't, so I ripped the rug out. Oh, now do it. And it's like, well, necessity is the mother of invention, right? So it's supposed to be some great thing, but it can still be like, fuck you. So anyway, I'm just saying, let's move on. June. Okay. June starts out with the Seven of Pentacles. And, I normally put, it doesn't matter, but I normally put my hippie card on top because the overall kind of guidance, again, we're thinking. Okay, so we have the Seven of Pentacles, and it is clarified by, god damn, this, the Ten of Swords and the Ace of Wands. So this, I think, is actually a good sign. So here we had someone who was scared to start fresh in May. Okay, May, people are like, I'm scared to start. I'm scared to just start over. But here it is, June, and it's like, now we have somebody who's like, okay, I've planted the seed of something new because I'm finally letting something die. So we have the Six of Swords again. I can't move on. And our Death reverse. I can't move on. And finally, the Ten of Swords, which sometimes can mean I'm afraid to move on. Sometimes it can mean that, but it can also mean the end of a heartbreak and betrayal where you actually are starting to turn the chapter. You know, like I'm like, okay, I went through a bad breakup. I went through an ugly divorce. I got sacked at my job, or my position became obsolete, or something like that that was rocky in May, and kind of like April into May, honestly. And it's like, I've thought about it, I've processed it. It looks like maybe it could have happened in April, and then May, it's like we've thought about it and licked our wounds. And then by June, it's like, okay, I've come to terms with it. I've made peace with it. I'm ready for the new thing now. This passionate thing that my Page of Wands was trying to bring me, he was trying to bring me the wand, okay? It's like one singular wand, one singular wand, one singular wand. He's trying to bring it to you. He was trying to bring it to you in May and offer it up, but you're like, I have to think about this, you know, I'm not ready. Now it's like, okay, I've thought about it, I'm getting over it, you know, now I'm ready. Now I'm ready. And so I'm ready to go for this. I'm ready to go ahead and invest myself into this. Just because you're investing doesn't mean you are reaping the benefits of it yet. It can feel a bit like a leap of faith, a thankless project, because I'm putting my time, my money, my energy into this, but I'm in that awkward waiting for it to grow kind of a phase, and I don't know if I'm actually going to grow anything. You know, like you plant seeds and you're like, are the ants going to eat all my boiled peanuts? You know, because they will, man. I'm telling you, if you're not from the rural South and you don't know, those ants will eat all your boiled peanuts. You go to yank up the thing, trash. And you're like, God damn ants. You know, like it's one of those times where you're like, meh. But just tend to it. Tend to it. Keep continuing to love it and to actually sow the seeds, because if you never plant anything, you won't ever grow anything, period. So that is far more failure than only coming up with a handful of peanuts instead of a whole bushel. I'd rather have a handful of peanuts than zero peanuts at all, especially boiled peanuts. If y'all ain't from the South and y'all don't know about that, then I'm sorry. Okay, July. July starts out with the Ace of Wands in reverse. Why must you do this to us, Tarot? 2021, what the fuck? So 2021 is obviously going to be a bit of a what the fuck year. Just like 2020 was. I'm sorry, I gotta be honest. 2021 looks like it's going to have its fair share of WTF. It's going to have its fair share of 1 minute I thought it was working, the next minute I'm like, but I thought it was working. Yeah, it's one of those. It's one of those, right? Okay, so, but it's clarified by the Page of Pentacles and Temperance. So, what this is saying, maybe the idea that you had in your head, or this passionate new beginning, something happens that makes you feel like, ugh, you know, this is I can't go out of the gate just running right towards it. So it's like summertime, you know, summertime hits, and it's like, I want to go ahead and take this idea then, and I'm ready to just go ahead and run with it. But it's saying here, timing. Timing is everything. Pace yourself. This is still, Page. This is still a fledgling idea. And the Pentacle, see, we got the Page of Wands here in May, which is the idea. The wand is the idea. That's the passion, the passionate idea. This pentacle is the logistics of it. Logistics. Okay, you've got this great idea, but how are you going to make it physical? It's one thing to have a great idea and to sit there and think about it all the time and idealize, oh, this would be great, or this sounds like so much fun. Yeah, but what does it take? How much money does it take? How much time of day does it take? How much overhead are you going to be spending for your profits? What's your profit margins going to be? What's your return on investment going to be? These are the logistical questions that you're going to have to answer. This is getting your ducks in a row. This, for some people, can feel like the most annoying part of any type of new venture. Raising hand, raising hand. How many times have I talked myself out of something because this guy went and took the wind right out of my sails, man? I'm like, I got this great idea, and they're like, yeah, but like, how are you going to even pay for postage? I'm like, not now, man. I'm talking about what I'm going to do. And they're like, yeah, but you can't build an empire if you don't even know what you're like. Come on. And I'm like, oh, everybody raining on my parade. But like, for real though, figure it out. Get your logistics set. This is saying, you're not going to be able to go like right out there with your energy and boom, hit it if you don't have your ducks in a row. So you have to pace yourself. But it's saying, because this is upright, the timing is right for it. It's right for it. You're just going to have to adapt. That's kind of how I see it, because here, the main card here is, we've already planted the seeds and we're kind of tending. We're tending to the garden. And so if we're in the tending process and it's not manifesting yet, it's not quite here yet, it's like, because it takes time. It takes time to tend it. And we have to tend it in a very physical way, a very physical way. This isn't your ideas. This is not your emotions. This is a very physical thing. This is finances. Get your money right. Be smart with your money. This is a page. This is a page. So this can be some immaturity with money. You might not be spending wisely. Get your money in check. So July, summertime, I would not suggest that to be a great time to be like, everybody, I'm spending $10,000 on Disney. Let's go to Disney. Like, probably inadvisable. Probably inadvisable. Save your money, get a smart money plan, because we got pinnacles out the yin yang coming up here, honestly. Because, I mean, look, we got more pinnacles. Yeah, so we're going to be talking about some more money. So here it is, August, right? August. I know, collective sigh of relief. I've just been going, blah, 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 blah. People are like, I'm tired. I'm going to have to pause this. I'm going to have to timestamp the month so people can come back to it when they're fucking ready, right? I'm so sorry, y'all. The Lovers, man. But it's in the upright. Cheers. Cheers. And we have the Knight of Cups and the Six of Pentacles. So starting out with the Lovers, after all the energy, one thing that I think is funny, you have the classic phallic symbol, right? It's a penis. It's definitely a penis. So it was like upright in June, reverse in July, and now we have love. So to me, I just find that a little bit funny. That doesn't actually mean anything in tarot, or you can make it mean something. Surely you can make anything mean anything in tarot, but I just think it's something more to laugh about because I'm 13 years old in my head. So moving on. So we have the Lovers here. Now, in the context of these two cards, yes, you can take this in a romantic sense if you want to, where collectively in August, people are kind of, maybe they had a bit of a passionate upset. This can be a passionate upset with this being in the reverse. So, and like financial issues where it's like, hey, and some healing and stuff like that. So, this could be, again, a little bit more of that, like, people passionately sharing their ideas about things and passionately doing things that you're like, hey, okay. So this can be a bit of a collective kumbaya moment where it's like, peace. Touch my hand. I am offering you peace. Here. Touch it, Adam. Touch it. He's like, bitch, you ate the wrong apple. I ain't gonna touch you. Like, they're still a little bit upset. Give them time. Give them time. You ain't gotta have your nose in everybody's relationship. Come on, Karen. Okay. But this can also, doesn't have to mean like August is a great time for love. To me, collectively, either we can be having a moment where people are extending the cup of apology or forgiveness, or this feeling of like, okay, whatever kind of whirlwind we've been through that kind of roughed us up a little bit, like we're trying to say water under the bridge, that kind of a thing. Trying to bring back balance to a situation that could have possibly been out of balance. Here we have two factions trying to come back together, perhaps, and with this apologetic type vibe to it, maybe take this offer, so water on the bridge, everybody's happy, it can be that. If I wanted to be like a little negative Nancy about it, which I don't want to be because all of these are in the upright, which is a good way to be. But to me, I get a little bit wary of this card sometimes, because sometimes this can be the breadcrumb card where it's like, I'm going to give you something to make you feel like it's an actual good apology, or like I'm going to try and appease you, but I'm actually like tricking you into taking something less then it's a trick. It's strings attached. It's breadcrumbing. So, like, oh, the fact that you're already poor and broke and a slave to the state, a government, but here, have your stimulus package. Have your stimulus money. Take your $600 and be well. And it's like, motherfucker, that's my grocery bill for 1 month. What did you do for me? And you just bankrupted our economy to do it. So it's like, how about not be handing off billions to all these special interest projects and giving me scraps? How about that? How about that shit? So it could be like something that's like dark. Could be like dark like that, where it's like, don't buy into it. This is, because this can sometimes mean a big decision. This can be a huge decision where you have to decide, am I going to be all kumbaya love, or am I going to have to think practically and logistically? There's several different ways, obviously, that this can go, but I can't help with my tinfoil hat to take pause and be like, all right, I'm just saying, in August, by summertime, August, let's not be getting gaslit into everything's fine, everything's good, y'all. Kumbaya, the love. But really, it's like breadcrumb, womp womp, and I'm still a beggar. I'm still a beggar. Look at me in my, goldenrod shawl, just taking my shillings. Like, I don't know. Especially after this, it's like, did somebody just take the wind out of my sails and now they're trying to, like, whisk me off my feet with the bullshit sandwich? I don't know. I'm a little paranoid. I'm a little untrustworthy. I got my tinfoil hat all the way on. Y'all know one of these days I'm going to come home here and I actually have my tinfoil hat on. I'll put it on. I got tinfoil. Got tinfoil in the kitchen. Think I won't? I think everybody in these comments would be like, bitch, I know she would. Yeah, because thank you for knowing me like that. So here we are in September, right? 40 minutes in. Oh my jeez. Okay, Knight of Wands in reverse. And our Five of Swords in reverse. Our Hangman upright. So I think I know why I was feeling a little bit like I was with the paranoia here, because it looks like it's evidencing itself. This is the main card that's being clarified by these. So again, this is another time where it's like the passionate vigor of life is at a full stop. Here we are, Hangman. That's a stop. This is another back up, not gonna go forward. What? I would also like to call attention that Knight of Wands here, but here he is in the forward. Has that not been happening this whole reading? Where it's flip flop, flip flop, flip flop, flip flop, flip flop. So expect that. And that does not surprise me at all with so much air energy in this year. So much air energy. That's exactly what air energy is. It's a flip flop, flip flop, flip flop. Have y'all ever dated a Libra? I'm not coming for you, Libra. I love you. But if you've ever, even an air sign, like 1 minute it's like the cat that's like, pet me, and you go to pet it because it's like loving on you, and it's like, not like that, and you're like, damn, cat, like I thought you were asking for this. What do you want? It's very much that vibe. It seems like 2021 is like that. Pet kitty bites. What? So be flexible. Be flexible and know that we can be seeing some topsy-turvy. I think flexibility and adaptability are gonna be what saves you in 2021, just from the looks of these cards. Be flexible, be adaptable, be resilient. Know that something that you thought was a sure thing, rug pulled out from under you. Something that you believed was going to happen, didn't happen like that. Anything that you want to make solid and secure, nope, sorry about it. So that's what it seems like. It seems like, okay, go for it, cock block, I'm sorry, and pause, massive pause, and then the Five of Swords. So it's like, here we've got this harmonious, I'm trying to please you, I'm trying to offer you the cup kind of energy. And then we have this mental confusion fighting that's like we're trying to stop the fighting, but people are still defensive. People are still confused. People are still stuck. So I would not consider this peace. And this is September now. So it's like, whatever this bullshit was, it's not working. It's not working because I think people are seeing it. There's a pause here where it's like, no, think about this. Think about this from all angles now. All angles. Don't you rush in and be too hasty. No super hasty actions here. Don't you be taking humongous risks if you have not thought about it from all angles. That goes back to our earlier piles where it was like, get your ducks in a row. This, I think, would be people figuring out that they've been gaslit, honestly. I tend to see gaslighting a lot with this card, but especially when I had here in this pile, when I see this card, I think of narcissists trying to pull one over on you. They're the breadcrumbers that are like, no, you want this, you're happy with this, take this. And that's like that narcissistic, like the government trying to, or whomever, trying to like, oh, no, I'm just going to pacify you with this shit. They're gaslighting you, and it's like, no, I think I'm figuring it out. I think I'm putting two and two together that you're trying to feed me the bullshit sandwich, and think I'm pretty pissed off about that, actually. I think I'm pretty clear-minded. I used to be confused, and you almost pulled one over on me, but like, no, I'm figuring this out, and yeah, I'm pretty pissed, gotta say. Pretty pissed about it. I've been sitting here, I've been thinking about it. Got the hermit over here in May. I've been thinking, and I've been pausing. And it's like, I can't even, it's that force stop where it's like, hasty idea, force stop. But September, then we move into lovely October, which is the overall feeling of October is the Strength card in reverse, but it is clarified by the Three of Cups and the Knight of Wands. So here, where we felt like I can't go and I'm stuck, it's like by October, it's like we're feeling shaken. We're not sure. I still think that there is some level of confusion, some confidence issue that's coming through here. People that largely are feeling a bit weak or feeling vulnerable. Vulnerable, I feel a lot more than weak. It's kind of like this feeling of insecure footing, but it's being clarified by like, I'm still doing this and I've got people with me. So to me, this feels almost Braveheart. Why do I feel that? So that's October. I'm feeling kind of a Braveheart vibe where it's like we know that we're the underdogs in this. Like I already know I'm an underdog and I'm coming up against the juggernaut. But fuck it, because I got my squad, so I'm going to do it anyway. Like here, it was like, I couldn't. People tried to stop me, but I had to stop so that I could think about it and clarify it and get my shit in order. But now it's like, no, I thought about it. I've got my ducks in a row. I've got momentum behind me. I have people coming in to support me. We're coming together for this common goal. It doesn't matter that we don't feel 100% about it. You don't have to feel 100% to just go ahead and say, you know what, again, leap of faith. A lot of this year, 2021, seems to be feeling like a leap of faith, but not a willy-nilly leap of faith, a calculated leap of faith. And there is a difference, because you can have leap of faith where you're just like, well, fuck it, YOLO, and then just like do stuff, and it's like, cataclysmic ruin, like bad idea, but you can sit there and you can have a moment where you're like, okay, logistically, if I played it out this way, how do I logistically think it would go? Played it out that way, how would I logistically, like, how would I course correct? And you get kind of a general idea of like, okay, this is what it would take. Am I ready to step up to that responsibility? You know what? Fuck it. Let's see. And then you do, because you've calculated. You know what I mean? You've taken a moment to calculate, because again, nothing in here seems like a sure thing. Nothing in this year seems like clear cut, it's a sure thing. There's a lot of the rug gets ripped out from under you, and what worked today won't work tomorrow, but then will work again the next month. And a lot of up, down, yes, no, door slam, window opens. Adaptable, contingency plans, resiliency, all of that. That's all in here. All of that is all through here. But I would say that even if you are not convinced, can I do it? Am I sure? This is like, even if you're not 100%, sometimes waiting for the perfect moment on the couch will hurt you a lot more than just trying something. Just go out on a limb and try something, but do it with logistics in mind. Just take a little moment to be logistical about it. All right, so November, the energy of November is the Queen of Cups in reverse. Womp, womp. But it is clarified, but like this was supposed to save it at all. This was a womp womp, and there's two womp womps. I was like, but silver lining is shit. November. Oh, November. Light me up, November, right? 8 of Swords and the 4 of Cups, both upright. So it's like, here I was feeling kind of unconfident, and November, honestly, I don't feel good. This is the feeling of emotionally being kind of spent. I am emotionally spent. I am emotionally raw. I am emotionally ragged, and I need to take care of myself. So it's like I've been through all of these variations, all of these ups and downs and ins and outs and weirds and what and all of this. And I've tried it and I've been foiled, and I've tried it again this way and I've been foiled, and I've tried it again that way, been stymied, but keep it on trying, and all of this kind of innovative industriousness that I'm seeing. And so it leaves you in a feeling state of, I am tired and I need some respite. And that's November. November is feeling like I need respite. This is where it's like, I've been through so many iterations and variations of this that now I'm just feeling kind of stuck, Like, how else am I supposed to do it? And what they're trying to tell me to take, I don't want it. I feel stuck. How am I going to get out of this? This feels a bit like I'm in a pickle. I feel like I'm in a pickle and I'm stressed about it. So November, what is November going to bring us that has us feeling stuck and in a pickle and not wanting to take what they're dishing out to us? Because I do tend to think a little conspiratorial. What are they dishing out to you? I don't know how to get out of this. I feel like my hands are tied. I feel like they are forcing me to take something that's got me bent out of shape about it. So don't let anybody cripple you or decrease your options, again, without a contingency plan. This goes back to our contingencies. This goes back to having our adaptability in place. But this is definitely, November is definitely a self-care month. And analysis paralysis. And I'm going to have to meditate and realign and go back to the drawing board because I'm not liking my options that I see. I'm not liking these options. And you don't have to take what's being forced on you. You don't have to conform to herd mentality if you don't want to. You have free will. And the thing is, if enough people remembered they had free will, more people, instead of being like, oh, well, I guess I'll do it. Do you know how many people go along with something begrudgingly? Do you realize how large a percentage of people that is that just begrudgingly go along with it because it's like this kind of bystander effect of, well, if they're doing it, then I guess, me, and it's like this passive thing. So it's like passive, tacit consent to something. That's a huge percentage. If all of those people just got the lady balls or the dude balls or whatever, who cares? Genitalia should not be talking about, whatever. If all these people actually got the guts to just be like, no, I want to do what I want to do. I'm going to have a temper tantrum about it and do what I want to do. That would shift the power overwhelmingly into the people's hands. You would have droves of people saying, no, I'm not standing for the herd mentality. I don't feel like it, so I'm gonna be loud and outspoken about the fact that I don't feel like it. And then you're going to, by that, just by you doing that, you're going to give other people who were kind of bystanders begrudgingly on the fence, you're going to give them permission to finally have confidence and stand up for what they want to do as well. That's the momentum I'm talking about here. You're going to do that. You're going to do that for people. Be the ripple in the pond. Be that shit. Be that shit. You have so much power to do that. And people underestimate just how important that is. Just the amount of power in that. So let's move on to December. Ending 2021 with a good old Wheel of Fortune, right? We're like, thick. But it's upright. It's upright, though. The Wheel of Fortune Now, with the Ace of Pentacles and the Seven of Cups. So when I see this spread, thankfully, I see relatively good things because these at least are good cards. This can go kind of either or, but these are happy cards to get. So the by the end of 2021, with all of these energies, it's like fate is or karma is very much so controlling. I shouldn't say controlling, but I should say that the momentum here is building. The momentum is strong. We have two circles, two big circles, two big circles. Circles, cycles. Ooh, you can read into these kinds of things. You know, that's what tarot is all about when you see stuff like that. But I think of it as a cycle. Here it is. We're at the end of this cycle, at the end of 2021, where people are sitting here and like, no, I'm taking karma into my own hands. I'm being clean about my karma. I'm being conscientious about my karma. So it's more that you are starting to realize more than ever that your input will result in an output. Cause will result in an effect. Before we kind of were a little bit more willy-nilly about it. We were like, yeah, well, you know, I'm just kind of gonna roll the dice and take my chances. I'm gonna just kind of oh, whatever, you know, like I'll eat the French fries. You know, who cares? I'm just going to treat myself. And then you have a fucking coronary. And you're like, okay, so maybe I shouldn't have ate so many French fries. It caught up with me. Oh, I'm just going to treat myself to a little snack here and there, you know, and then it's like, and now I've got like hypertension and diabetes. And you know what I mean? Like, where it's like, that little thing that you did every now and then you weren't really thinking about, and then you realize, boom, it's caught up with you. It's like by the end of 2021, it's like, you know, we're very clear that there's a cause and effect with our health. We're very clear that there is a cause and effect with our finances. If you overspend your money, you will know it in 2021. You will know it. Be smart about your finances in 2021. Be smart about it or find yourself on the bottom of the wheel. Okay, not cool, not cool, not where you want to be. But all of these in all of these areas of your life, whether you're talking about your work, whether you're talking about your personal relationship, your romantic relationships, your money, your health, all of these areas, become aware of cause and effect and karma and realize that it's not a passive game anymore. It will catch up to you quick, and you will start seeing, uh-oh, me doing, I mean, you know how it is when you're young. It's like, oh, I can take, you know, like 15 shots of alcohol, and it's like and I'll go to work the next day, and it's like, here I am in my mid 30s, I even sniff alcohol, and I'm like, I'm drunk and I'm calling out tomorrow. Like, it's one of those things where it's like it just catches up with you that fast. This is what it's saying. But by the end of 2021, it's going to be caught up to you. But I see this as people becoming aware of that. That makes me happy. People are starting to realize it's not just a passive thing, and I've got my eyes open to it. And because of that, we're able, or people are able to have more physical things that you want happen. So, entrepreneurial stuff. This is a very, very good omen for those of us who have entrepreneurial spirits that are trying to start out their own business, their own hobby, their own side gig. This is like the windfall of money. This is the innovation. All people coming out of the woodwork. That's like, what? We don't like old social media because censorship is becoming so fucking insane that now I can't even say every other word on my channel without them deleting my account. Well, guess what? Some tech genius out there is going to create a new social media platform where censorship is dead. Oh, okay. I'm gonna go join that then. Okay, well, you know, people don't like, you know, that air travel is killing the environment. They're gonna innovate how to travel with less, I don't know, carbon footprint or emissions, or, you know, shit like that. You know, this is sustainability. This is innovation. This is, you had a problem with the old way, fix it. Somebody out there needs to go ahead and start working on the new thing. If you don't like the old way, start working on the new thing. It's going to start coming in, but we all have a part to play in that. So you can't just have a passive role, wait for somebody to build something. It's like, no, go ahead and you start building the part that you know you can take command of. because you can. You have ownership in the new world, or else you wouldn't still be here. You would have croaked out already. You have ownership in it, and you have capability in it. It's not that just that, oh, I'm on the hook for something and I'm useless. No, you're on the hook because you have the key to it. Your specific endeavor, you have the key to it. Figure it out. Which one is it? What is it? What is it you want to do? You have options. You are not a one-trick pony. So there may be a bit of confusion by the end of 2021. You may be confused because it's like there's so many options or there's so many things coming at me, and it's like, or this could just be the Sephora VIB sale, the website where they're trying to push all the Christmas products at you, and you're like, oh my God, how many blush palettes do I need? Truly, it could be that. But outside of petty, I think of this more as like, oh, what's it gonna be? What's it gonna be, boss? Because guess what? You are the boss. You are the boss. And you have options. And you don't have to be a one-trick pony, and you don't have to pick one thing. Me, for example, if I'm just putting me over here in the hot seat, I like tarot. So I do tarot. I also like doing the spiritual life coaching thing. So I've done that in the past. I'm not quite doing that right now, but hey, something that I might dip my toe in, soap making. I've started up trying that. My boyfriend bought me a whole bunch of stuff for that, doing soap, which could lead me also to candles, aromatherapy type things. I already do organite, make organite, like all these different things where it's like I've got my hand in all these different pots and potential revenue streams, even, if you want to call it that. I'm not necessarily thinking about money right now, but maybe one day, you can monetize something like that. But skills, stuff that you can use to bring in revenue, to bring in the ability to barter or trade or things like that. Something that gives you that kind of autonomy or inherent power, this interdependence. So it's like I'm not just stuck waiting on my hand out. Like, I am somebody who has a unique set of skills, talents, and abilities that are worthwhile to the world. I have my own little niche. Get at it, man. Get at it. By the end of 2021, I think people are going to start realizing what that is for them a lot more. Now, does it have to take you a full calendar year to get in that spot? Hell no. January, we got her. You got that energy right here, right now. You don't have to wait till the end of the year to be like, new year, new me, like again. No, you don't. Now, there's going to be a lot of like important lessons that it looks like we're going to learn through here, but I think the biggest takeaway here for me, just looking at all of this, is this year is going to be very similar to 2020 in terms of ups and downs and surprises and choppy changes. Very similar to 2020. That doesn't mean similar in a bad way. I tend to think because we've already been through the shit of 2020 that we're like, and what? What you got? This ain't my first rodeo, world. This ain't my first rodeo, universe. Been there, done that, got the t-shirt, what now? What you talking, Mad Max? You talking Gone with the Wind? Hey, I've been there. Not worried about it, not scared. Like, that's kind of the energy I'm seeing here where people are like, guess what? I've already been through, like, the first draft. So you're not going to really freak me out that much with the second draft. So I'm already feeling more confident, and I'm already feeling like I can be adaptable. I can be resilient. I do have value. And I know all the ways that 2020 made me feel vulnerable. And I'm going to figure out what ways do I know that I am vulnerable, that I felt vulnerable in 2020. And I'm going to start taking each one of those. If I felt vulnerable romantically, if I felt vulnerable in my job because I didn't realize my job was so like expendable, if I felt really vulnerable financially, all these ways that you felt vulnerable, start analyzing it and see, is there a way that I can make tweaks and changes to support myself in those vulnerable areas, specifically in those vulnerable areas? Where I can support myself in these vulnerable areas, I can start taking radical responsibility for myself in this world. Because believe it or not, you're not as weak as you think you are. You are not as thrown to the wolves as you think you are. You have value. You have something to add to the world, and you have a very particular, unique piece of the puzzle to share that somebody else could not do the same way you can do it. They cannot. There's thousands of tarot readers on YouTube. thousands of them with hundreds of thousands of subs. I'm under 200. What the fuck am I doing here? Who am I talking to? But still yet, some people watch my shit and they're like, oh wow, no, I like being here and you have value to me. Cool. So if I can go out and I can do something as small as my sliver might be, then what is stopping you? What means you can't? Nothing. Nothing but yourself. You can do something in a way that nobody else can, which is very enviable and very valuable. And I say, no time like the present. Get on it. What? Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, so I'm gonna load this up for you. I've been talking for more than an hour. If you're still with me, then God bless you. Please get a Ziploc bag. I need you to do this. Follow instructions very carefully, okay? Just like a 5-year-old would, because this is what I say to my daughter. I'm like, one step. Step 1, go get yourself a Ziploc bag. Step 2, go to your freezer, get some ice. At least 5 cubes. Put it in that Ziploc bag. Get yourself a paper towel. Wrap that bag up in your paper towel. Place it on your forehead and keep it there for hours. Minimum of 2. Minimum of 2 hours. Brain swelling, go down. You know, also earplugs for the bleeding ear holes. That would be a good place too. I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Thai tea, so much Thai tea. I need to stop that, you know. 2021, I'll let that be my first goal. I'm not going to stop it. I'm actually probably going to buy more Thai tea. It's a problem. All right. Anyway, I love y'all. I really, really, really actually do. I feel very personally invested in many of your lives. Y'all probably were like, I didn't want you to be that close, God, you know, but I'm like, but I love y'all. So anyway, take care of yourselves. I'm going to be using these coming up in another reading, so get ready for that. Get ready for that. Okay, but love y'all. Please take care. And give me any kind of feedback you want in the comments. Good, bad, ugly, I don't care. Just fucking talk to me. All right, love y'all. Bye for now.